Hare Krishna. Welcome to my Radha Madhav channel. This is Sindhu here. I'm very glad to be back with you all, my channel, with a beautiful Krishna Katha. It's a very, very, very interesting, inspiring story. Gundicha Marjana, the festival of cleansing the heart. That's the name of the story, title of the story. It's a very interesting story, very practical story. The Gundicha temple, it's located in West Bengal near Jagannath Puri temple. It's very lushy, full of coconut trees, full of, it's an island. It was built by, they say that by Queen Gundicha, by her husband King Indradumna. You can see the detail a little later. Let's start with the story today. I'll start with a small prayer. Nama Om Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurava Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pascharya Deshatharini. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada always emphasized the importance of cleanliness and said that cleanliness is essential for making advancement in spiritual life also. We all know, like since childhood we have been listening, like cleanliness is next to godliness. He says that everything in the temple should be kept clean and nice. We should always remember that Krishna is the purest, and similarly only, sorry for this ad in between. And similarly, only the pure can associate with him. In Mayapur is located in West Bengal near, it's about, it's a very beautiful temple. It's actually the entire, there's a temple, famous temple there, Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. Okay. It's actually Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's temple, and you all must be knowing about Mayapur temple also, very famous temple. It's cleansed twice a day, once in the early morning around 2 a.m. and once in the afternoon 2 a.m. also. This service to their lordships and their devotees is performed daily without fail by a group of 7 brahmacharis, they say. They clean harder to reach the places first, such as lights, fans and Jafri. Jafri is a decorative cutout design in the walls that provide the ventilation. And then they move on to the raised platforms in front of the altars and floors. Using a generous amount of water and large squeegees, the sponges, everything, the brahmacharis spotlessly clean the temple for the pleasure and comfort of the Lord and his devotees. Hari Bol. By cleaning the temple and the Lord's paraphernalia with love and devotion, one also begins the process of purification in one's own heart, thereby purifying oneself and becoming eligible to associate with Lord Shri Krishna, the purest of the pure. Gundicha temple is located approximately 3 kilometers away from Sri Mandir, which is the main temple of Lord Jagannath in Sri Kshetrapuri Dhama, Odisha. Every year, Lord Jagannath goes out on a grand chariot procession from his palatial home to his childhood home, Vrindavan. Gundicha Mandir represents Vrindavana, and to prepare for the Lord's arrival back home, day before the Ratha Yatra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleansed the temple with hundreds and hundreds of devotees. Following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this cleansing of Gundicha temple the day before Ratha Yatra has continued since over 500 years. This practice is known as Gundicha Marjana, or cleansing of the Gundicha temple. The cleansing of the Gundicha temple is compared to the cleansing of our hearts. This process is called Dhanartha Nivriti, cleansing oneself from unwanted desires within the heart. The dust, stick and the stones, the Lord and his associates cleaned out from the temple, they all represent the various anarthas or unwanted desires within the hearts. Some of these anarthas include offenses to the holy names. There are so many offenses, like mainly 10 offenses are quoted. If you see, you can, we will take this topic in the near future. So many people, what we mistakenly do with having so many material attachments, we chant the holy names. They say that is also considered as an offense. We should focus on our chanting alone, leave all the material things, and then only that is effective. right? We'll talk on this later. And Vaishnava Aparada, right? Vaishnava Avatara is devotees of the Lord. We should never blaspheme them, or we should never talk ill of them. And they desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. See, we all are in the material world like that. We have come here because we wanted to enjoy separately from the Lord. That's why we have been got this human birth, isn't it? Amongst other things, by the continuous and determined effort to chant the holy names without offences, the dirt from within the heart can be cleaned. Even seemingly menial work that is done for the Lord's pleasure, it helps to remove the anarthas from the heart. Is one step. It is considered for God as 10. For example, cleaning the Lord's paraphernalia, whether it is be his dishes, cloth, temple floors, etc., etc. It helps to cleanse the heart. Because the Lord's paraphernalia is connected to him and not different from him. When one treats the belongings of Lord with care and devotion and attention to detail, just as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated when he cleaned the Gundicha temple, one automatically pleases the Lord. Hari Bol. Now let's move on to the story. As the cleansing all takes place in the temple, as you can see in the image, the Kirtan is also performed simultaneously. And everyone present there are blissfully engaged in chanting. Sometimes devotees dance while they are cleaning. Thus they wash the temple of their hearts as well. As Sri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir getting both the external and internal temples ready for the arrival of the Lord of the universe, right? When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates were cleaning at the Gundicha temple, they were all engaged in chanting the Lord Sri Krishna's names. In fact, Krishna's name was the only means of communication. If one devotee wanted a pot of water, what he would do, he would exclaim to another devotee, Krishna, Krishna, understanding that this meant that he needed a pot of water. Their communication was like that. The other devotee would communicate that another pot of water would be brought by chanting Krishna, Krishna, and so in this way only Krishna's name were uttered throughout the entire cleaning process. In Mayapur, devotees of all ages, they work together to cleanse the temple. Upon entering the temple during the Gundicha Marjana festival, one will see the older devotees working to the best of their ability, while the young children are slipping and gliding around the temple, ecstatically drenched in water and dirt. Indeed, it's so sweet to see and a pleasure to hear. Using plenty of water and the cleansing materials, supplied by the temple commander, the pujaris and the other devotees, they also what they do an in-depth cleaning of the altars of Sri Radha Madhav, Sri Ugra Narsinghadev and Sri Panchatattva. So this cleansing of the Gundicha temple, we saw it is summarized by the Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, right? He is stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the story, like that's what I have told you, like Sri Gaura Sundar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, he swept and cleansed the temple with his devotees, making it as cool as bright as his own heart and befitting a sitting place for Sri Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleansed the temple with brooms, water pots and his own cloth, accompanied by devotees, I told you. The Lord swept in the ecstasy of prema while calling out the holy names of Krishna. The devotees also called out Krishna as they engaged in their service. So the body of the Lord became covered with dust and dirt, and beautiful to behold that sight they have written. The Lord cleansed some areas of temple with tears, combining with the tears only he used to wash the floor, clean the floor. The body of the combining all the grass, dust and sand into a pile, the Lord began to gather it into his outer cloth and throw it outside. In this way, all the devotees in great ecstasy started throwing all the grass and dust outside using their own cloths. Lord said to the devotees, by seeing how much grass and dust you throw outside the temple, I know how much you have laboured and cleaned. The dirt collected by all the devotees was combined into one pile, yet the pile made by the Lord was greater. In this way, the interiors of the temple's room were swept. Following this, the Lord again assigned all the devotees areas to clean. Throw out even the finer bits of dust, grass and sand and clean the Lord's inner room nicely. Mahaprabhu used to direct the devotees. After viewing the temple once, he and all the devotees swept everything for the second time, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very, very satisfied. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he called, bring water, 100 devotees bought 100 water pots and presented before the Lord. At first, the Lord and his devotees rinsed the ceiling, the walls, the floor, altar, everything they have said, mentioned here, and the Lord mopped the rooms with his own cloth. Instead, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu polished the altar within his own cloth. They have written, given here, and the Lord made the temple spotlessly clean, cool and pleasing. In this way, the temple became just like an external manifestation of his own heart. Everyone called the holy name of Hari as they filled the water pots and cleansed the temple. Nothing could be heard except the sounds of the holy names of Krishna, Krishna and Hari, Hari, Hari. Hari, Hari, Hari Bol. One devotee would ask a water pot by saying Krishna, Krishna. Another devotee, I told you, right? They would only communicate like this. And for the devotees who have done really well, the cleaning, everything, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he would always say, you have done well. Teach this to others also, and they also performed the good work in this way. And after the temple was clean, the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became satisfied, and he sat everyone down in two lines and he spoke. I will gather together everything everyone has collected and will take the type of cake and condensed milk preparation from whomever he collected the least. In this way, the Lord cleansed the whole compound of the Gundicha temple and made it as cool and spotlessly clean, nirmal, they say, as his own heart. Right? So, what is the, I would like to conclude the moral of the story. While engaging in the practical services, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told the importance of chanting the Lord's holy names. For the transformation of the mind's nature, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, it's necessary to remember the Lord constantly. One is able to do this, will experience that transformation. You will see an example that will, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. There, everyone, chants Krishna, Krishna while they are working with their hands. If someone needs a water bucket, he asks Krishna, 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 give me Krishna. This is another devotee, give him water bucket, and devotee throws the water while chanting Krishna. So, devotees perform many activities, but while they are doing their work, they always try to chant the names of Krishna. Then, through their habit of chanting, their mood and minds will transform. And what is the two reflections I want to quote to all of you, my dear friends and devotees? For the transformation of mind's nature, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, it's necessary to remember the Lord. I told you already. One who is able to do this will experience that transformation. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada, in one of his purport of the, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he writes, if one wants to see Krishna seated in his heart, he must first cleanse the heart, as prescribed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Sikshashtaka, Cheto Darpana Marjana. In this age, everyone's heart is especially unclean, as itself is confirmed in the Bhagavatam. Hridi antaha stohi abhadrani. To wash away all the dirty things accumulated within the heart, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised everyone to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The first result will be that the heart is cleansed, Cheto Darpana Marjana. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam confirms this statement. Shrivatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantaha Stohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Shukrit Satam. Meaning, Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Super Soul, Paramatma residing in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who relishes his messages. I'm so sorry, again the ad is popping up. And the benefactor of the truthful devotee cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee, relishes his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Srila Prabhupada goes further and explains how Sri Krishna himself also helps to clean the heart of the jiva, the living entity, as he is already seated there. However, and wants to continue residing within. One must, however, make an effort to clean one's own heart. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cleaned the Gundicha temple. Everything belongs to Krishna, and therefore by cleaning his temple and other paraphernalia, one automatically begins cleaning his heart, which ultimately belongs to Krishna too. Krishna wants to reside in our hearts and therefore assist us in cleansing our hearts when we demonstrate through genuine chanting, and that is what we all desire. Once the heart is pure and clean, the Lord resides there and directs the jiva back home to be finally in his pure association. In this way, my dear friends and devotees, all the quarters of the Gundicha temple were completely cleansed and cleared. All the quarters were cool and spotless like one's cleansed and pacified mind. That's it. I'm ending the story here. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. Hare Krishna. Catch you all with another beautiful video, motivational video and Krishna Katha. Until then, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhayavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.